So, Nityanandama, so this is our part
Nityananda.
three series of the three videos we are making. The first
Yes.
video was about introduction, how you connected with Swamiji, Paramahansa
Yes.
Nityananda Swamiji, and your search for the third eye, and your search for the and
Yes.
your struggle finding a guru, and then
Yes.
finally you found one, and how beautifully he awakened your third eye. And then
Yes.
the second one was about your how Swamiji directed you to the Houston Adeenam, and
Yeah.
how miraculous, beautiful that journey was. And we
Yes.
are discussing about your visit to Houston Adeenam, and then how the completion happened, which was how the last past life connections and all that, and how you were able to even how the deity told you to go to your cousin's house, and
Yes.
you could protect your community there, all that she
Yes.
instructed you in advance, and then
Yes.
you witnessed the whole drama, and then you came back to the temple. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, ma. So we'll continue
Okay.
from here. So this is the
Okay.
part three.
All right.
Can we introduce again? Can you introduce yourself again, please, ma?
Yes, I can. Tell me
Yes.
when you're ready.
Yes, ma.
Nityananda.
Yes.
Hi,
Go ahead.
everyone. My
Yes.
name is Ekulanza Nabugimi Bay.
Yep. And my name is Mukesh Sarda. I'm in Houston, in Bangalore Adinam, in Swamiji's a power center, and I'm from Houston also, and I love that Houston temple. So
It's
sorry to ask
beautiful.
you more questions about that, and it was beautiful. So let's continue. Thank you.
Okay.
So what happened on Saturday, ma?
So that
So the
that was Sunday.
Kartikeya, yeah,
Yeah.
Kartikeya.
So that was early in the morning. I took my
Yes.
shower in the dark.
Hmm.
Um, I left to drive to the event location,
Yep.
which is at the University of Houston.
Hmm.
And once I arrived, I
Hmm.
realized that I was probably 30 minutes late,
Hmm.
and I
Yeah.
was feeling kind of bad because I was 30 minutes late.
Hmm.
But I realized that that 30 minutes, that was nothing, and we got in, and our program went beyond expected.
Awesome. Okay.
Now it was returning back to DC and understanding what had just happened
Wow.
and
Okay.
cognizing that information and that experience.
Hmm. Hmm.
And in the process, I had a deep question inside of me to Mahasadashi Voham.
Hmm.
How do I express what is happening to me,
Hmm.
to my family, my friends, my
Yes.
faith-based contacts,
Yes.
so they can understand this is not just another, occult. This is
Yes.
not just another fly by night
Yes.
religion. Okay.
Yes.
And, there are so many new things that I encounter in my life.
Hmm.
The last thing you want with something as precious
Hmm.
as this that Swamiji is giving us is
Hmm.
for your family and your friends to take it lightly
Hmm.
and blow it off.
Yes.
So,
Hmm.
doing one of the sleep initiations that is promised to every inner awakening
Yes.
student,
Hmm.
I woke up
Hmm.
after that initiation was complete,
Hmm.
and I was told to just go on YouTube at 3 o'clock in the morning, and
Hmm.
I did, and a video popped
Hmm.
up with the title
Hmm.
Jesus Spoke Tamil. Jesus on the cross spoke Tamil.
Wow. Okay. Uh-huh.
And there is a Tamilian lecturer
Uh-huh.
who uses etymology
Hmm.
to explain the verse that we read
Hmm.
in Matthew and Mark, especially Mark, the 15th chapter and the 34th verse of the Bible,
Hmm.
for two millennials.
Wow.
Not the Pope, no one in the Vatican,
Hmm.
no rabbi from the Jewish religion.
Hmm.
No one knew what the meaning of the words that Jesus spoke when he was
Wow.
on the cross. And
Wow.
if you watch
Huh.
that video,
Huh.
the lecturer explains it through etymology,
Uh-huh.
which any linguistic
Mm-hmm.
student or
Mm-hmm.
professor can understand,
Mm-hmm.
and shows that those words, Eloi, Eloi,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sabatani,
Ah.
is Tamilian.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the words that Jesus spoke
Mm-hmm.
when he was on that cross, which
Wow.
means what?
Uh-huh.
Not only was Jesus
Uh-huh.
in India
India.
for
Yeah.
those so-called 30 years that he was missing from
Yep. His
Israel,
youth. Mm-hmm.
he
Yep.
was also studying
Mm-hmm.
under an avatar who
Yes.
gave him Shakti powers.
Yes. Yes. To take the other
Okay?
forces or whatever, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so those are the type of tools
Mm-hmm.
that I will be using,
Mm-hmm.
and I've actually put it in our WhatsApp DC Adeenam group
Mm-hmm.
message
Yeah.
for those of us who are coming from a faith-based identity,
Mm-hmm.
and we are now understanding and knowing that it is an integrity identity that we are now using.
Yes. We are
These are the
shifting to the
tools.
integrity identity. Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes, these are the tools that we can use to teach and help enlighten and cause others to
Yes.
understand you are not converting over
Yes.
to Voham.
Mm-hmm.
You are you this is a continuation
Yes.
of
Upgradation. Yes.
Jesus Krishna,
Yes.
because Jesus, they
Mm-hmm.
called him Christ, Christ, but Christ is a Romanized form of Krishna. So
Wow.
it was
Okay.
Yeshua or Yeshua Krishna.
Yes.
You see,
Yeah.
because if you
Mm-hmm.
watch this video, Mukesh, that I'm
Mm-hmm.
speaking of,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
the lecturer explains
Mm-hmm.
how the J, which was Romanized,
Mm-hmm.
was a Y for Hebrew, and a Y for Hebrew was added on to the Aramaic because the actual Tamilian name was Eshua. In
Ishwara.
Arab,
Okay. Okay.
in Aramaic it became Yeshua.
Uh-huh.
In Hebrew it became Yeshua,
Mm-hmm.
and then in the Roman it became Jesus.
Ah. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
so
Yep.
if you can use tools to help them understand, you're not abandoning
Mm-hmm.
everything that you've learned in your faith base.
Mm-hmm.
It's a continuation with
Mm-hmm.
a breakthrough of
Mm-hmm.
not only consciousness but Shakti powers. And what Jesus told everyone in his last words, he said, "These things which I do, thou shalt do, and more."
Ah, thou shalt do and more. And and
When I
and
may,
that
uh-huh.
more, the faith based lost it in between. They did
Yes,
not.
they lost it.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, if someone believes they are Christian, coming to this would be really following Christ's message
Yes,
to the
that's right.
word, and
To the
especially
letter.
the last time, like the last moment, what he said, right? The most
Yes,
important, like the the most summarized version. So that
yes,
would be to come to Mahasadashivam, experience this Shakti Pata, and
yes.
move on, like the higher super consciousness, basically.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. Like I will give you one example.
Yes, ma'am.
The first time I was at the DC Adeenam and we
Yes,
were
ma'am.
going through the Lai Kasa and they began to give us the ash to
Mhm.
apply the ash, right?
Yes. Haha, yeah. Yeah.
Can you please say the proper word
Vibhuti.
name for this?
Vibhuti.
Vibhuti. Okay?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
When I saw this Vibhuti,
Mm-hmm.
my first question in my mind, can
Mm-hmm.
I put this elsewhere? You know,
Mm-hmm.
because we were instructed temple, the
Mm-hmm.
head, the navel, and on the
Yes.
abdomen.
Yes. Uh-huh.
But at the time I was having a toothache, so I smeared some right on my jaw. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually smeared some on my eyes. Okay.
Yes.
I used to work for an all natural makeup company. I said, let me
Yeah.
just beautify myself with this.
Yes.
Okay. And from that, I actually started when I went through the initiation, I had different feelings. Like I could hear my third eye on the inside opening and popping and going. I actually
Wow.
heard those sounds.
Wow.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So that's when I knew that if it's applied to other places, those places also
Gonna be
are
energized.
vibrating. They're
Yeah.
gonna have, yes, they're
Wow.
gonna be energized. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But the main part as a previous faith-based identity person, what I
Mm.
realize is that vibhuti looks like what? It looks like clay.
Yes.
And
Ashes
in
to
the
ashes.
Bible,
Hmm.
there was a situation where Jesus took clay, spit into it, using his bioenergy,
Hmm.
placed it on the blind man's eyes, and he
Ah.
began to see.
Yeah. So yes.
You
So
see?
that Shaktipada happened at that time also. He was also doing it. And
Yes,
that's what Swamiji, is taking the
yes,
Shaktipada to higher levels and more
yes.
higher levels.
And that's when I also came to understand more has to be done because there are still remnants on the earth,
There are
all
still
over the
what, Ma?
earth, remnants,
Remnants. Okay. Yes.
okay, where people manifest not Shakti powers because they haven't been initiated by
Hmm.
an avatar, but they manifest Siddhi powers. You
Yes.
understand?
Yes.
And so people begin to follow these people because they're manifesting 1 to 5 Siddhi powers. Maybe
Yes.
not 400. You
Yes.
understand?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's when I began to understand how important it was to make it to Mahasada Shivoham this year
Yes.
because Swamiji is manifesting and initiating in over 400 powers.
Shaktis, not the
Yes,
Siddhis. Yes.
not the cities. So
Yes.
these individuals who are manifesting the gift of laying on the hands, we're not saying that they are not doing it. But
Hmm.
what we can say is these powers are not for one individual.
Hmm.
And that's why you gotta love and appreciate Swami G because he demystifies all religions, all Shakti powers, and he tells you this is what every human being has the ability to do.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
You
And it
see,
was the Atma Murti in Houston like this one, Ma? The
was
one
the, I'm
which we are
sorry,
seeing, the Atma Murti which is behind me, was the Houston Atma Murti like this?
uh, that's Swami G though,
Yes. Yes.
okay?
Okay. So the
They
other
have
Murti
one that
you.
is, yeah, it's the darker one,
Okay.
the black
Okay.
one,
Okay.
okay?
Okay. Okay. And the Houston you also visited the nine lingas, that
Yes,
nine
the 9 planets.
nine planets. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think.
and she showed me the order to go in.
Yes. Yes.
There's a specific order, and she taught me the order.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, good, good. Yeah, I think this is really a new thing for me also. I didn't know that last sentence and that Tamil video, like not the video where, so that's a very good, thanks for sharing that. And
Okay.
really, this message is for true Christians that, they need to attend to this
Yes.
cosmic event happening and be
Yes.
part of this, and they need to progress in their spiritual quest also, you
In
know
their spiritual, that's right, their
yeah,
spiritual experience in their path
experience.
also.
Yes, yes. And this
Yes,
has
they
been
need.
lost for 2000 years in Christianity, and
Yes, it
Swamiji
has.
is like, that super consciousness breakthrough. He's going to give us that in Mahasadashivoham, which is going to
Yes.
be amazing experience. So I think everyone should make a solid effort to, get
Yes.
get and also, you started joining the Mahasadashivoham course, the Science of Inner Awakening, right? Which is
Yes,
going
I
to
did.
prepare
Yes, I
for
did.
that humongous breakthrough. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
so I would like to ask few questions about that. Can we
Okay.
continue in the next?
The
I'll
next
pause
video.
here. Yeah, I'll pause this
Okay.
here and then we'll continue. Any closing
Okay.
comments about this video, Mark?
As I would say
Especially
that,
for faith-based organizations, right? Means,
yes,
you know,
for
this would be,
faith-based
yeah.
organizations,
Hmm.
each and every individual
Hmm.
who is in a faith-based organization,
Hmm.
they need not be closed mind
Yes, need
and
not be
call
closed mind.
any extra information as a heresy and call people
Yes.
heretics and say that you're serving other gods,
Hmm.
because what they don't understand, they have been given a glass ceiling so that the leaders can
Hmm.
only be the ones who are profiting.
Yes.
That's why when you look at faith-based organizations,
Hmm.
the 90% of the people attending faith-based organizations, we're not talking about one church.
Yes.
We're not going to look
90%,
at one
90%. And, and
90%
Ma, there was
of,
a pastor from Philadelphia. I live in Philadelphia. I have two
yes,
kids. They're in college in UPenn. And when I was flying to Houston, next to me there was Gary. He was a pastor in one of the churches in Philadelphia, New Jersey area, and we were having the same discussion. He was saying 90% of these churches are literally just making money. Like, you know,
that's it.
they don't have any other motive. And funny thing is, Ma, if you visited Houston, the biggest church in whole of United States is this Lakewood Church. And
Yes,
you know, in spite of all these hurricanes, they didn't even let any people come and stay there in that church. That could have
thank you.
saved, like, you know,
So
been
many
a house for
lives.
so many lives. But
Yep,
they did not. They said that they could not. They did not want to do anything that was government thing, and they just washed their hand.
that's
So
right.
some of these organizations, and I used to go to that Lakewood church, even though I was born Hindu, you
Okay.
know. So,
Yes,
and only after I met Swamiji did I know that all religions are not the same. There are some
no,
religions which give you major breakthrough, and some
yes,
which can take you up to certain level. So,
that's
you
right.
know, you need to have that progression. You need to keep on upgrading, I think. But I was
Yes,
very upset with the Lakewood Church, which I went in past, and I used to donate, and I was big fan of that guy, you know. But
yes,
anyway, yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, we
So
were all
I
disappointed.
I
But
think
can
you,
you imagine?
yes. Can you imagine what, Ma?
Can can you imagine, instead of having 90% of all faith-based worshipers
Mm-hmm.
in poverty or some below the poverty line,
Yeah,
what if we had 90% of faith-based worshipers understanding is integrity based and
integrity based. Yes,
having their
and
third eye open and
opened.
having
Yes,
Shakti powers? We
yes,
wouldn't have all the shooting and murdering and killing that we have in communities. That
yes,
would,
Ma.
I mean, it would just decrease so quickly. If you
Radical
had your
decrease, Ma.
third, yes,
Yes,
if you
yeah.
had your third eye open and you understood and you could see things, you would lose your tribalism, you would
Yes,
lose your racism, you would lose your chauvinism, because you would
yes,
understand this is not only about I,
yes.
me, and mine. This is about us as a planet.
Wow, that is really awesome closing comment. And I know we are over 19 minutes now, but we'll continue
Okay.
in the next series. But yes,
Okay.
I think your closing comments were really that's what Swamiji's avatar is for. Exactly what you pointed to, that his avatar is to make this whole world a blissful place, and this
Yes.
one God thing, which is like causing so much grief for so many people. It is the oneness, the
Yes.
third eye
Yes.
awakening, which is gonna connect people to people, dot to dot, world, like, you
Yes.
know, right now the genders and all, there's so much thing going on, so
Confusion.
confusion.
Yeah, it's
So he is
confusion.
gonna be, so we'll pause here
And,
and we'll continue in
okay.
the next one. Thank you, Ma.
Okay.
Nityananda.